Here is the man who discovered Christian Atsu, Abdul-Hayye of Cheetah FC. He's been on Joy FM many times. We'll hear him now. Mr. Yate.
As you watched the body as it left the plane and was placed in that middle ground.
Very sad, very devastating. Knowing Christian, Allah Almighty knows the best, but I think Christian doesn't deserve this. But it is what it is. Looking at Christian going through the cargo section of the plane, somebody who is used to sitting in the business class, being brought in this way, then it's a lesson for everybody who lives now, that there is a need for us to worship our Maker, stay humble, and then respect each other.
Well, what would you say about Christian and the fact that he was such a humanitarian? Everybody has been speaking about it.
I'm confused. I don't know which.
Don't worry. Go with GTV first.
Please, what your question again?
How would you want him to be remembered? Like Gary said, he was such a humanitarian. He was such a selfless spirit. But his immortality is what we should think about. What should that be? What should that legacy be?
I think for me, I would describe Christian as an angel on earth. Christian was a Christian. The way he does his things, sometimes you don't believe it. I think we need to remember Christian for his generosity, how humble he is, how determined he is. And I think this should inspire footballers, what I'm going to say. I remember on the first day that he had to take the first flight to FC Porto. I was at this airport to see him off. And when he sat on the plane, he actually sent me a text message saying that, Mr. Yate, I really appreciate you. I'm not going to return. I'm going to succeed on these trials. He was left with 10 days for the January window 2010 to be over. And he said he was going to succeed. He was going to make me proud. He was going to make himself proud. He was going to play football to the highest level. And the world will hear the name Christian Atsu. I think 13 years today. You see, today we have the vice president here. We have big dignitaries around the world sending their condolence messages to Christian Atsu. You have big organizations like FIFA, CAF, the EPL, people around the world, the poorest, the wealthiest, the smallest village, are all actually saying good words of Christian Atsu. So it tells me that whatever he said to me when he boarded the plane, he have done it, but it saddened my heart that his last flight back to Ghana was the one that I have to come in and receive his body. But I think I'm very proud of him.
Mr. Yate, you knew him more than most. And I'd have to ask, if you were here watching us right now, what would he tell the millions of people who are in tears and crying? What would he say?
He will tell them not to cry. Christians don't like seeing people unhappy. He wants to see everybody happy. He believes he's from a poor background and always want to see people happy. So he will say, don't cry. And I believe that is what we don't need to do, because we are crying. But God Almighty, who brought Christian to us, knows very well that he's come and accomplish whatever he wants him to do on earth. And then God needs him more than we. And I believe Christian is happy wherever he is currently. And I pray that Allah Almighty have mercy on his beautiful soul.
The last thing I'll ask you will make you smile a bit, I'm sure. This guy was called the Ghana Messi. It was a big burden, but he carried it so well. And yet, now that he has gone, what people remember him for is for his humanity. As somebody who knew him again more than most, how does that make you feel, that somebody so talented on the field did so much of it?
Oh, very happy. Two things from what you just said. One, the name Atsu on the back of the jersey. I actually told him to choose the name Atsu at the back of the jersey instead of Trasam. We made fun out of it to say the name Trasam is not going to sound very well in the ears of the commentators. So I believe Atsu will be very nice. And when he went to FC Porto, he told me, I've forgotten the number, they've given him number 40 something, and he put in Atsu on the back of the jersey just as I wanted, and I said thank you. Again, he loves Messi so much. I remember when he went to Porto and he was coming back, Porto gave him a DVD of Messi, Ronaldinho, and one other player that I've forgotten. And then I told him, you are the black Messi, the African Messi. And then that name came to stand by. As you are saying, apart from his talent on the field, he took on to helping the needed, because he saw that he was from a poor background and he need to help people with whatever he achieved in playing football.
Abdul-Hayye, condolences to you and to everybody else, and all the best. So that's Abdul-Hayye, popularly known as the man behind Cheetah FC, a football club in the lower divisions. But Christian has always been associated with that club because he was playing for them when famously a trial session was held, like you heard, somewhere between 2009 2010. Long story short, that's where his journey into Europe and into the global limelight started.